stop the blinking. That's obnoxious. Put the breaking news below me, right up underneath me. This just into the Gala newsroom. Rumors have surfaced on Twitter that Supercell may be considering ending the game Clash Royale. It's true. Buzz on Twitter has it that there is a possibility that the game Clash Royale will be discontinued, taken off the market, and no longer playable. Now, this reporter wanted to get to the bottom of where this came from, and I found an article that was posted on Twitter recently written on mobileandapps.com. Mobileandapps.com reports that Supercell, quote, to end it, and they're talking about Clash Royale. The article goes on to talk about the fact that maybe there's not enough updates to the game, or maybe there's too many. The article kind of contradicts itself in as far as why the reasoning is there for ending Clash Royale. But the article also references a second article on ubergizmo.com. So we went to ubergizmo.com and found an article there, Endgame Planned for the Future in Clash Royale. Now, this is where you can see that there's a difference between the term end game and the end of the game. People who are familiar with gaming know that end game refers to that very upper echelon, the highest point you can reach in a game. In Clash Royale, it would be level 13. In Clash of Clans, it would be Town Hall 11. It's completely different than the end of the game, as in this game is being terminated. Well, what happened was ubergizmo referenced another article from toucharcade.com that talked about, quote, end game in the future for Clash Royale. Now, this is starting to sound like one of those games of telephone that you played in grade school, when one person tells another a message and it goes around the room and the end result is completely different than the beginning. We did it in my middle school. My sociology teacher, he said something to the first student like, I'm hungry, go get me some pizza. It went all the way around the room. By the time it got to the end, the message was, Susie got an A on her last test because her mom is hot. But that's for another episode. So yes, things got twisted around here, and we can trace this back even further than toucharcade.com, because toucharcade.com references in their article a Reddit post. Now we're getting to official posting here, because on Reddit, the actual Clash Royale Reddit account did post something that referenced the term end game. What they said was, and I quote, "We are perhaps looking for other ways to solve our end game rather than just more arenas, but we'll see. This is still a bit up in the air for us." That answer came in response to a question posted by a Reddit user named Pentox, who has put together a very cool Clash Royale newspaper that comes out every week. So there was actually an original post that talked about end game. In fact, in that Reddit post from Clash Royale, they referenced an earlier Reddit post, now about 2 weeks old, that said, we're currently thinking about what Clash Royale's end game could be. Yes, what Clash Royale's end game, not what the end of Clash Royale as a game could be. Two completely different things. So yes, obviously, there are always things that are changing with Clash Royale, expanding. The game is going into esports, it's becoming highly competitive, but no. There is not an end of Clash Royale anytime soon. If you really wanted to ask that question, you really only need to look at one thing. That. Okay, no. Clash Royale is not going anywhere. It's the #1 in the US App Store right now for top grossing. It is doing amazingly well, and there's really no way you can question the success of Clash Royale right now. So, this did become a bit convoluted, and could perhaps there have been some clickbait in these articles trying to get viewers to look. Was it intentionally changed around? I don't know. Clickbait, though, I mean, who would ever put a title or a thumbnail up that would just grab people's attention thinking a game might be coming to an end? Anyway, so no. Clash Royale is not coming to an end. Will Clash Royale end? Of course it will. All things end, but that's also an episode somewhere else that we talk about, philosophically speaking. But the thing is, Supercell as a company has killed a lot of games in the past. The numbers have it between somewhere 9 to 14 or 15 games that they've killed over the past 6 years or so. And the original game they first killed, their very first game, Gunshine, was a Facebook game. That is long gone. They also had Pets vs. Orcs, Battle Buddies, and then very recently, Spooky Pop was out briefly. It was killed. And then Smashland, one of my personal favorite games to ever get killed, by Supercell is long gone as well. Now, will they have other games? No doubt. I can imagine that Supercell is probably working on new games all the time, and one of the cool things about the way Supercell is set up is that there are individual game teams that are responsible for each game. Designers and programmers, their job is just Heyday, or Boom Beach, or Clash of Clans, or Clash Royale. And no doubt if there's another game under wraps that's maybe being worked on, there's a separate team that's working on it right now. So stay tuned, you guys. Clash Royale isn't going anywhere but getting bigger and better all the time. The end game, the level 13 players that are maxing out their cards, that's fine. They can continue to do that. The fantastic thing for me about Clash Royale is that you don't need to be that end game player to be competitive. You just need to get to level 9, and lots of players have done that without ever spending a single gem, and then you can compete for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in prizes in these tournaments like the Crown Duel and the King's Cup, and more to come, no doubt. Again, you will hear the announcements for any future big tournaments like that on this channel first, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit like if you liked the video. That is going to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the Gala breaking news, and I will see you again for more full attacks. And that is going to wrap up this episode, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, for spending part of your day with me. You are truly the hashtag GalaFam members, and I appreciate every last one of you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for daily Clash content, and yes, of course, I hope to see you all back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Oh, I already said that, though.